So let's check something now. Let's check something out real quick. Two things we're going to be discussing in this video. For one, we're going to be discussing could the mummies last? Could they last? We're going to watch something from a movie. Yeah, it's a movie, but it kind of says a lot. And then we're going to delve into the science. Then we're going to talk about the hidden message in African booty scratcher. I know people will be laughing at that, like, what the hell hidden message that? It's going to get deep. It's going to get deep. First, check this out.
There they are.
Oh, shit. Look at that. You said that thing was alive?
So they say.
Oh, God. Hey, these things don't leak, do they?
Leak, hell.
Body. Not these dudes. Not these two. Pay attention to the body that was in that canister. Now it was air still. You see it's starting to oh, touching the air. That's just a movie. You know, you can't claim that to be 100%. Now, my whole thing is this. I ended up doing some more research. And that canister in that movie was only supposed to be 14 years old. You ask, how long does it take for bones to decompose? Excuse me. It says if a body is buried in a coffin very deep, the ground, it could take 50 years for all the tissue to decompose and hundreds of years for the bones to fully decay. Okay. When it comes to the Egyptian mummies, people credit it because they were wrapped up. Now, my whole point of using that movie is the sealed coffins. It's one thing if the mummies were wrapped up in oil and then sealed in these coffins. You know what I'm saying? These tombs. There's no air getting in them. So, okay, it would make sense that it lasts. But they have discovered mummies hundreds of years ago. So they've opened these tombs hundreds of years ago. Okay, as soon as the air touched these things, they should have decomposed like the zombie did on the horror movie. That's what I'm saying. The air should have completely destroyed these mummies. But they're saying that they're still there because they're wrapped up and stuff. And what I'm saying is I don't believe that these mummies are old. I think these are made up. I think these are fakes because how would they have lasted? It doesn't matter about the wrapping. What it matters about is the air touching these bones. that have been sealed away for thousands of years. They said even a body that's buried in the ground, it take 50 years, but it could take hundreds of years for the bones to fully decompose. Okay, old Egypt, those mummies are thousands of years old. Okay, so when they went into these crypts and they opened these tombs and the air touched these mummies, these things should have disintegrated. They should have just shattered. Why would that make sense? Because just like everybody of the world and the Pan Africans, everybody credits Egypt for everything, even over here with your dollar bill and all that. So even because they could have took the pyramids from over here, no, they chose to keep you in Africa. There's something strange about Egypt. About maybe it's like a big setup place to keep people looking one way while they're doing something else. And it makes sense because of the second part of this video. So I want to talk about this insult that people used to say. It was referenced in Boys in the Hood, calling people an African booty scratcher. I remember that growing up. I remember that phrase. I remember people saying that. Here's the thing. When people use that phrase, are they using it, or are they analyzing it and understanding it the way that it was supposed to be given to you, or the way that it was? Usually when people hear African booty scratcher, they're referring to a person scratching their own ass, saying that, the African is slow and stupid and dirty. That's what they're thinking. But let's say that's not what it means. Let's say, playing devil advocate for argument's sake, let's say that it means you are brown nosing the African. What do I mean? Because to scratch someone's butt is to be behind them. You know what I'm saying? And to be, pandering to them. There's a phrase out here called brown nosing, referring to, you want your brownie points. You're sucking up to people. You're brown nosing them. You got your head stuck up their ass. Could we say that for the American Negro? Is that true? Is it true that they have their heads stuck up Africa's ass with no benefit? No, nothing coming from it. Just a story that really is not verifiable. And then the more you really get into it, the more it seems like you've been set up by both sides. But why would that be when the white guy's not from over here, but neither is the African? It's pretty deep. It's pretty deep. The whole mummy thing, I don't know, starting to seem shaky. I don't see how it lasted when they were stuck in these air-sealed tombs. As soon as you opened it, these being so old, they should have shattered. Like it said, 50 years to 100 years to take for bones dug in buried in the ground to be fully decomposed. Now, if that's without the crypt, if that's without the casket, then these things should have lasted hundreds of years, thousands of years. It's a stone tomb, sealed, hasn't been opened. The mummy's been oiled up. The people have been oiled up. They've been wrapped in cloth. How long have they had the mummies out on display? When did Champollion go inside Egypt? Was that the 1600s? Okay, we're in 2023. So what have they put on those bones? If you want to say that those are the real bones, what have they put on them to keep them there? Those bones should have been shattered, disappeared a long time ago. Why do American Negroes have the reference to having Indian in their family? Why is that even in around them? Why? You never hear anybody else say that. You never hear people from Africa say they might have some Indian in their family. They never say that. So why is it just these American Negroes? Why would that be a statement in their communities for as God knows how long? Why did Martin make that joke? You know what I'm saying? You had that good hair. Everybody thought you had Indian in your family. Why do they keep having a Negro and Indian reference connection? Why is that always there? People talk about, oh, because they had slaves. No. The white guy had slaves. You guys don't never connect them to. You don't never connect to the royal black blood of England. You guys don't say that. You say English is white man's language. You won't connect anything over there. So why is the Indian constantly referenced when it comes to the American Negro? And why was it an insult to be an African booty scratcher? Why do you not want to be an African booty scratcher? And were they talking about you yourself scratching your own ass? Or were they talking about you scratching the ass of the African, nut riding their culture, even though that's not who you really are? Who made up that phrase? Can we credit one person for African booty scratcher, or was that planted around us? Trying to reference back to something. It's quite possible because there's a lot of things that have been thrown around us. You know what I'm saying? Square dealing, fair and square. You should use common sense. You should know where that came from. Stand on your square. Like, who talks like that? They've been in every neighborhood, every group. Do you really believe in mummies? Now that you know they wouldn't even be here, they wouldn't even last that long. Because remember, you got mummies and dinosaur bones. Steve. Till the next time.